When did your musical journey start?
Well, about 8 o'clock this morning, I got up and we hopped in the car. And oh, you mean in sound and music? I remember at my dad's parents' place, being very small and monkeying around on the piano. I had no idea what I was doing, but just really being drawn to making sound. So that's probably the story.
Yeah, he wanted to play my dad's banjo, and he was too small for that. He couldn't reach all the way. So we got him a banjo ukulele, and we found a lady that lived outside of Stratford that taught music for fun. And we lined him up and took him out there, and he started learning from her.
Oh, great. Fantastic. Okay, so at the beginning, how difficult was it to listen to it?
Well, it wasn't bad at all because a banjo ukulele isn't that loud. Like, there's no amplifiers, right? That came later.
How about now? Huh?
Okay, when did you know that Kevin was more than the average guitar player?
Well, when his music teacher kept saying that, he's really talented. I figured she wanted us to pay for more lessons, right? But no, and then she started having him come for lessons, and he would stay an extra half hour or an extra hour and show other students. So then we started getting the idea that he knew what he was doing, and she was impressed what he was doing. So that sort of set it off.
Great. Kevin, when did you realize that you were able to make your living through music?
I just want to say that I'm actually learning stuff here tonight as well. Like, I had no idea. My dad knows more about me than I do, so it's always informative. Sorry, what was the question?
The question is, when did you realize? You took an engineering degree, but when did you realize that you need an engineering degree to work all this stuff? When did you realize that music was your living?
Well, there's two answers to that question. One is I'm still kind of waiting for that answer. But the longer answer is that I guess the turning point was probably when I started touring with Jesse Cook, which would have been in 1999. Yeah, towards the end of '99. And I was, like you said, I had a degree in engineering, so I was working full time, writing computer code, and got invited to tour with Jesse. So I did both for a while, and it was clear that you can't do both. you can't have a day job from 9 to 5 days a week, and be constantly asking your boss to take the next 4 days off because you're going to California to play some festival somewhere. So I had to make a choice, and my boss at work said, "You don't really want to be here, do you?" And I kind of went, "Yeah, no, I don't actually." And so that was that. So I made the choice, and there was enough, momentum or whatever to keep it going. And now it's 17 years later. I don't know how that happened.
As a parent, what have been some of the proud moments as a dad?
Well, some of the venues that he's played at, playing with symphony orchestras in various places, going to the World Cup in Africa, and the Pan Am Games in Mexico, and so he played as part of the ceremonies and so on there. So that was some highlights.
Okay, great. You appeared on some U.S. network television shows.
You should really come with me like all the time, because you're way better at this than I am.
You've been on some U.S. network television shows like The Tonight Show?
Right, The Tonight Show. So this was a few generations ago, back when Jay Leno was the host. So I was, this was in my Jesse Cook days. I was playing with him, and he had done a recording with Charlotte Church. You know who she is? She was... I haven't followed her career since, but she was this amazing sort of, child prodigy. Anyway, so we played the Tonight Show, and it was, I'll never forget, so we pull into the, this television studio in Burbank, California, and we pull up to Studio A, whatever it was, and there's like a dozen parking spots, and then there's one that's empty, like right by the stage door, that says Jay Leno on it. And we're just hanging around outside. We had done our sound check, and of course, Jay shows up only when he's needed. He's not going to spend all day there. He's got his cars to polish and stuff like that. But So he comes roaring around the corner in this, 1950s, some kind of, name a fancy 1950s sports car, a Thunderbird or something. I don't know. I don't know what it was. He's got about 1,000 of them. So he drives a different car to work every day of the year or something. Anyway, he pulls up in this spiffy sports car and hops out and sees the 3 or 4 of us who were standing outside just soaking up the sun, waiting for the show to start. And we're all dressed in black. Out of his car, and without missing a beat, he just looks at us and goes, "Oh, you guys all go to the same tailor?"
Now, how does your experience with the Tonight Show compare with the Front Porch Show?
Well, I have to say, Jay Leno didn't put me up in his house, so I think you guys have that beat.
Did he buy you pizza?
He did not, actually.
Did he allow your daughter to be part of the show?
See? No. Again, no. Well, she wasn't around then, but...
Okay, very good. Well, did he pay you more than I'm paying you?
I don't actually remember.
You're getting the same wage as Van Galen, okay?
As long as it's equitable, it's good.
Tell me about Sultans of String.
Sultans of String is a band that Chris McCool and I put together, I don't know, 15 years ago, something like that. So we met, doing sort of pickup jazz gigs here and there in Toronto, and realized that we both had a real spark for world music. So, music from different parts of the planet, different cultures, sort of combining them, and hopefully making something that's new and different. So we started working together as a duo, just making stuff up in restaurants in Toronto. We'd get hired for, $75 to go and play in some restaurant, and we would just make stuff up for 3 hours and record the whole thing, and then go back after the fact. And he kept saying, okay, well, let's take it to the next step. So we started with these little song ideas. We made our first album. Oh, hey, let's bring some more people on board to make it a bigger thing. And that's led to, 15 years later, we're touring all over the place. We're playing, as my dad and the guy with the bigger brain mentioned over here, playing with symphony orchestras and festival stages all over the world. So it's pretty cool. It's been a really fun journey.
Okay, we want to get back to your music. So where can we get your music? Speaking of your music, where can we get it?
Well, it's funny you would mention that, because there's a table right over here. Not to be a shameless self-promoter or anything.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed that, but
No.
I don't know how it got there. I really don't. Anyway, so I do have some CDs. What a coincidence. Also online, kevinlaliberte.com. You can also check out sultansofstring.com. Yeah.
Great. Okay, well, let's play some more music.